Hey everyone, this is Rochelle, and welcome to Multiple Passive Streams of Income. In the last episode, I detailed my second failed product. The first being a table runner with 8 placemats sold as a set, which never made it to Amazon. And the second being a dog toothbrush stick, which I explained why it failed. So definitely go back to episodes 1 and 2 for those details if you don't already know them. One day, I ran across a YouTube video talking about the new Amazon marketplace in Australia, and I thought, wow, this may be a golden opportunity. The marketplace is English speaking, there's not much competition, a lot of products have low amounts of reviews, and I felt like it would be getting a product on Amazon USA before Amazon exploded in the US. So I decided to use a random word generator and also use the Amazon auto search technique to find a product. The actual word that came up on the random word generator was the word win, WIN, and I found a wine protector bag from that initial WIN word. So the numbers look good in the US. I didn't see much competition in Australia. There was really not much I could do to really figure out the demand for that product because the tools that we use in the US, they don't have Australia as one of their marketplaces. So I figured I'd decide to source that product on Amazon Australia. And by the way, that's amazon.com.au. So what I didn't know was that eBay is the dominant online vendor in Australia. I think they sell 10 times more than Amazon. I do believe Amazon will cut into that and eventually be the dominating vendor over there, but as of right now, eBay is the big dog over there. I also overestimated the demand and definitely didn't calculate the lack of demand for this product in Australia. The demand for the product was so lacking that I was on the first page of my main keyword as soon as I listed the product. So I had also ordered 500 sets of a 4-pack of these wine protector bags, and I also added an extra bubble wrap to try to bundle that product. And my wine bag had handles as well. So that was the little bit of differentiation that I offered with the product I was selling. And it actually didn't do anything. It didn't spur any sales. And I made the mistake again of bundling something that didn't mean anything to the buyer. After I decided to source 500 sets, I go to make the shipping plan in amazon.com.au and I realized that they only would accept 80 sets. Now what? So around this time, I signed up for a membership to the AUSSIE Online Entrepreneurs, also known as AOE, and I'll probably do a video separate on the course, but they have different levels of education. It actually leads me to my successful product on Amazon. But I have reached out to them on what I could do about having, 500 sets of product being manufactured, and I could only send 80 into Amazon Australia. So they told me to contact FBA Prep Australia and have the 420 sets sent to them. They would basically sit it in their warehouse, charge me a monthly fee. A gentleman named Richard Aston runs this company, and him and his wife have been very, very helpful to me along the way. So I really appreciate them. Now, another Australian company that I use is SampleCheckers. They're run by a guy named Shane Carroll, and I utilize them for my inspections in China as well as my shipping needs. They ship, whether you're shipping to Amazon Australia or Amazon US, it doesn't matter. You can use them for all marketplaces. And Shane also has helped me in a few binds already, which I appreciate so much. When I was shipping the wine bags, the supplier in China didn't have shipping partners. And most suppliers do, but for whatever reason, this one didn't. So I reached out to some freight companies. I settled on the best quote I received. After the production and the inspection, the freight company picked up the 500 sets and then they sent me a bill. The bill required a payment via bank transfer and no option to pay by credit card or PayPal. When I inquired, I was told that was the only method of payment, and I just didn't feel comfortable with a bank transfer. Plus, I didn't have the money in the bank. I was using a credit card. So I called Shane in a frenzy to arrange for him to pick up the inventory from that shipper and deliver it to Amazon Australia, and then the rest to FBA Prep Australia, which he was able to do. And to complete the details about this whole shipping fiasco, I had to do a small wire transfer to cover the truck expense from the original pickup. I had to pay 2 days of storage. I also had to pay the wire fee on my end and their end just to get the situation righted. It's been about 5 months and I've only sold 11 sets.
Boo!
Total PPC cost was $41.55. I also had to pay a destruction cost for Amazon to destroy the 69 sets that were left that they had. And also I had to also pay $50 for Richard to destroy the 320 sets he had in the warehouse. So why didn't this product succeed? Now, there just was no demand for it, plain and simple. And even if there was demand, I don't think the product was differentiated enough. So again, I made the same mistake I made before. Remember, if your product isn't differentiated or it doesn't solve a different problem than your competitors, no PPC is going to make this a winner. I can't stress this enough. I mean, I even did Google ads in Australia for the wine bags, and that didn't do anything. I think I sold like 3 from PPC, and I'm not sure if there were a couple from the Google ads, but let's put it this way, there just was no demand. So if you are going to do Amazon Australia, and I still think it's a good option to try, just make sure that you're selling high demand products over there, and you're not going to have as much competition, so chances are going to be higher that you can move that product to page 1 of a lot of keywords over there. Also, when you're doing your listing, make sure you have somebody from Australia look it over, because they spell things differently and they have different terms than we do in the US.
How to speak Australian. Helmet. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
I especially think if you have a product that's selling in the US already, to definitely expand that product to other marketplaces. The sales may not be as good as the US, obviously, but I think being early to the party is a good look, and Amazon is going to grow over there, and obviously you will too, because you'll be first to the market. On an additional note, before I leave, in 2006, I was laid off of my job after I worked for Verizon for 15 years. Now, it took me about 4 years to find gainful employment, and I had that job until this day, which I still work part-time. Even if we have some economic recovery after this coronavirus outbreak is under control, the bubble is going to pop eventually, because the US is printing money at will. The US has so much debt right now. and the market is way overdue for a correction. It's just a matter of time. Hopefully, when this happens, you will have multiple passive streams of income to rely on if you were to suffer a job loss. Now, 2006 changed my life for sure. I thought I was going to retire at Verizon. Instead, 15 years I couldn't use anywhere else. I was older in age, so I wasn't as desirable for new employment. I couldn't get another job of the same salary at that time. And to survive, I had to exhaust my 401k plan. And so that part in my life was very dark. But I vowed that when it happens again, and it's going to happen, I would take advantages of the opportunities people in the know are waiting for. You are now in the know and have time to prepare. When the economy fails, it still takes a few years for the dominoes to fall. Once companies can't meet their bottom line, they start to lay off. As people lose jobs and they cannot find new ones of the same salary, they will exhaust their savings and their 401ks. Then they will default on their mortgages. Banks will be swamped with foreclosures. And then the stock market will be down. Stack your chips, get your credit in good standing, and wait. Real estate is going to be cheap as hell. Solid stocks are going to be cheap, and that's when you buy. Eventually, the economy will recover, the housing market will rebound, the stock market will make new highs, and all the people in the know will have capitalized because they waited patiently for the plan to develop. History repeats, so take advantage of it when it does. Thanks for your time, as I know you could be any other place right now. Take care.